If you're an American family with the means to think bigger than borders, you've probably already asked yourself the question, what's our plan B? And maybe plan B is also a plan a second home, a foothold in Europe, a place where your family has real options no matter what happens at home. Today, I want to take you inside one of the quietly powerful programs we work with every day, the Cyprus Permanent Residency by Investment Program. Some people call it the Cyprus Golden Visa. Stay with me. By the end of these 15 minutes, you'll know whether it deserves a place in your family's strategy. Welcome back to the channel. I'm David White, Director of Programs here at Global Freedom Capital Corporation. We work with high net worth and ultra high net worth American families, families like yours, to design and execute second residency and second citizenship strategies. That means everything from the initial assessment through filing, government liaison, real estate sourcing, banking, and the long-term aftercare that turns a permit into a real-life option. I've spent years in investment migration, and I'll tell you something the brochures don't. The families who get the best outcomes are not the ones chasing the cheapest program. They are the ones who pick the right program for the specific reason they want it. Cyprus is one of those programs that does a few things extraordinarily well. And if those things matter to you, this is going to be a useful 15 minutes. So, why Cyprus and why now? 3 reasons. 1. Cyprus is a full member of the European Union. When you hold permanent residency in Cyprus, you have a base inside the EU. You have a place to land. You can buy property, you can open bank accounts, you can integrate your family into the European system from a stable, English-speaking jurisdiction. 2. Cyprus runs on a common law legal system inherited from the British. For American clients, that matters. Contracts feel familiar. Real estate title is clean. The court system makes sense to lawyers trained in our tradition. 3. Speed and certainty. The Cyprus Permanent Residence Program was specifically designed to give qualifying investors a clean, fast, predictable route to lifetime residency in the EU. Approvals typically come in about 2 months once your file is complete. That predictability matters when you're planning around your family and your timeline. And let me address something head-on. Cyprus used to have a Citizenship by Investment program. That program closed in 2020. It is not available, and anyone telling you otherwise is not current. What is available today is permanent residency. That is its own powerful tool, and I'm going to walk you through exactly what it does and what it doesn't. What the program actually is. The Cyprus Permanent Residency by Investment Program grants you, your spouse, and your dependent children lifetime permanent residency in Cyprus in exchange for a qualifying investment of at least 300,000 euros plus applicable VAT into the Cypriot economy. That residency does not expire. It is not a 5-year card. It is not a 10-year card. It is permanent, for life, provided you meet a very light maintenance requirement, which is that you visit Cyprus at least once every 2 years. One visit, that is the bar. Now, an important distinction. Permanent residency is not citizenship. It does not give you a Cypriot passport, and it does not, by itself, give you visa-free travel through the Schengen area. Because Cyprus is in the European Union, but it is not yet in Schengen. I'll come back to what that means practically in a few minutes. The program was substantially updated in May 2023. The rules got tighter. In my view, they got better. Tighter rules mean stronger program integrity, which protects the value of your status long-term. Now, to the investment itself. There are 4 qualifying pathways. The right one for your family depends on what you want the investment to do for you alongside the residency. Option 1. New residential property. You purchase 1 or 2 newly built residential units directly from a developer, totaling at least 300,000 euros. At least one of those units must serve as the family's primary residence in Cyprus. This is the most popular route. It is straightforward, title is clean, and your family ends up with a real home in the Mediterranean. Option 2. Other real estate. Offices, shops, hotels, mixed-use commercial property. New construction or resale, same threshold, 300,000 euros plus VAT. The advantage here is yield. Commercial property can produce rental income and become a real asset on your family balance sheet. Option 3. Share capital in a Cyprus-registered company. €300,000 into a Cypriot operating business that has a physical presence on the island and employs at least 5 people. This is the path for the entrepreneurial family, the family that wants to build or acquire a real business in Cyprus, not just hold property. Option 4, Cyprus Collective Investment Funds, €300,000 into a regulated Cypriot alternative investment fund. This is the most passive route. You're allocating to a licensed fund manager, and your capital is doing work in the Cypriot economy under regulated oversight. In our practice, the majority of American clients choose the residential property route, often because they actually want the home, for summer use, as a base for the next generation. The fund route appeals to families who want the lowest operational complexity. We walk you through the trade-offs, and we never sell you property. We represent you, not the developer, not the fund. Beyond the investment itself, there are personal eligibility requirements. First, income. The main applicant must demonstrate a stable annual income from sources outside Cyprus of at least €50,000. Add $15,000 for a spouse and $10,000 per dependent child. So a family of 4, 2 parents, 2 children, needs to show €85,000 in stable, documented annual income earned abroad. For most of our clients, that's not a real obstacle. But it has to be documented properly, and that's where we earn our keep. Second, clean record. You, and every adult family member, must have a clean criminal record from your country of origin and any country of residence. We obtain, certify, and present those records. Third, source of funds. The investment capital must come from outside Cyprus, into Cyprus, through proper banking channels, and the source must be documented. This is part of what makes Cyprus a credible jurisdiction. We help you build a clean source of funds dossier that passes regulator review on the first read. These requirements are not hurdles for the families we serve. They are guardrails, and they are part of why the residency you receive will hold its value over time. Let's talk about who comes with you. This is one of the most important questions families ask. Your spouse included. Your dependent children under 18 included. Your unmarried children between 18 and 25 also included, provided they are financially dependent on you and are enrolled in full-time higher education. That is a meaningful inclusion. It means your college student can hold the same lifetime EU residency you do. Now, an important change you should know. Before May 2023, the program allowed you to include your parents and parents-in-law. That is no longer the case under the current rules. Parents and in-laws are not eligible dependents in the post-2023 program. If multi-generational coverage matters to your family, we look at parallel applications or a different program entirely, and we structure accordingly. And here is a powerful point that often goes underappreciated. Your adult, financially independent children can pursue their own Cyprus residency under the same program by making their own qualifying investment. We have helped American families structure these as parallel applications so the next generation holds the status in their own right. Done well, this becomes a true multi-generational asset. The process is one of the cleanest in the European space. 3 phases. Phase 1. Assessment and structure. We sit down with your family, look at your goals, look at your balance sheet, and select the pathway. 2 to 3 weeks. Phase 2. Investment execution. You complete the qualifying investment. For property, that is the sale and purchase agreement, the title work, and the payment. For funds or company shares, it is the subscription and capital deployment. 4 to 8 weeks is typical. Phase 3. Filing. Once the investment is in place, your file goes to the Civil Registry and Migration Department. The official processing target is approximately 2 months. In practice, files in good order land in that window. Then your residency card is issued. You and your family are permanent residents of Cyprus for life, subject to the requirement that each of you visit Cyprus at least once every 2 years. One note on the long horizon. Permanent residency is not citizenship, but it can become a stepping stone. Cyprus citizenship by naturalization is available to long-term residents who establish meaningful, actual residence on the island. It is not automatic, and it is not fast. It requires real time on the ground. For some of our families, that's a future option worth keeping open. For others, the residency itself is the entire goal. A few practical points that matter to our American clients. English is widely spoken. Cyprus was a British colony, and you can run daily life in English without ever learning Greek. Healthcare is solid. International schools are excellent, especially in Limassol, Nicosia, and Paphos. Cost of living is reasonable by European standards. And the lifestyle, Mediterranean climate, the sea on every side, easy access to Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, is genuinely very good. One more practical note. Cyprus is in the European Union, but it is not yet in the Schengen area. That means your Cyprus residency card does not by itself allow free travel through France, Germany, Italy, and the rest of Schengen. You hold the EU base. For travel inside Schengen, you continue to use your US passport under the standard visa rules. Cyprus has been on the path toward Schengen for some time, but until that happens, this is the practical reality, and we make sure our clients understand it from day one. How we help, and what to do next. So, that is Cyprus, a clean lifetime EU residency available to qualifying American families at a defined investment threshold with predictable timing, and a real Mediterranean home on the other side of the wire transfer. Now a word about how we work at Global Freedom Capital Corporation. We are an independent investment migration firm, and we represent the family, not the developer, not the fund, not the government. That independence matters more than almost anything else in this space. We have direct working relationships across multiple Cyprus law firms, regulated developers, licensed fund managers, and the banking infrastructure you'll need. We handle the entire file from end to end: strategy, eligibility review, structuring, source of funds presentation, real estate or fund selection, banking, filing, government liaison, and the long-term care that keeps your status in good standing year after year. What that means for you practically is one team, one point of contact, and one accountable firm. Instead of trying to coordinate a Cypriot lawyer, a property broker, a fund manager, a bank, and your own U.S. counsel across time zones and languages. That coordination is our job, not yours. If Cyprus sounds like it might belong in your family's strategy, here is what I would like you to do. We've put together a confidential guide, the American Family's Guide to Cyprus Permanent Residency. It walks you through eligibility, the 4 investment pathways, family inclusion, the real costs beyond the headline investment, and the questions we get most often from US-based clients. It is free. Comment guide or reach out to us directly to www.globalfreedomcapital.com. And when you're ready for a private conversation about your specific situation, we are here to support. Thank you for spending these 15 minutes with me. I'm David White with Global Freedom Capital Corporation. Please like, share, and subscribe to help us convey these messages to more investors.